Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review of episode 7 of Smoke, Whitewashed Tombs. Before I jump into my review, please follow me on Instagram at Steve Varley Show. I'm doing a bunch of movie reviews there, fun content. I could really use the help with followers on Instagram, so that would mean a lot, so check it out. So this episode's exciting in the sense that our three main characters, Freddie, Michelle, and Dave's stories are all crossing with each other now. Now it's not just separated by different storylines, they all interconnect, and you're starting to get some huge payoffs. You see, the episode starts with Michelle on the phone with Steve. She tells Steve she is seen as a bad guy with the incident with the fire with her mom to her family. And Steve actually comforts her here with some good words of wisdom and saying how the family's just embarrassed of her, and that's because she's showing the ugly truth about the mom that they're all in denial about. We're seeing this good side of Steve, but is it really? Because you see that when he sees if he can come over, she's like, no, that's okay, that won't help things. He mouths the F word. So you're wondering what his true intentions are here. Like, does he have a good bone in his body to actually help her? Or is he just saying this to kind of get a booty call? But you see, she says about her mother that what she did to her, it made her feel like she had no value. What I really like about this episode is with Michelle, what she's saying there, it still relates to the upbringing of Freddie and the upbringing of Dave, where they didn't have a mother figure there that was for them and they felt abandoned and wronged. So the big mystery here is still in Michelle's character and what we still don't fully know about that day with her mom and what transpired in her life right after that. So they keep alluding to that and reminding you of that. So it's going to be huge for the final two episodes. And I'll break down in this review about what they point out even more with that in this episode with Michelle connecting to Freddie and Dave. But I think they're doing such a good job of connecting all of them. But you see, Michelle will tug then at her sister-in-law and say, like, do you really want your daughter alone with my mother? And the sister-in-law takes offense to this. It's like, that's my kid. Don't tell me how to raise my kid, basically. But it's still effective because we'll see later in the episode, the sister-in-law talks to her brother and says, would you leave your kid alone with your mom? And he shakes his head no. So that is thrown in there too. So there's going to be something with the mom, probably going to meet her next episode and really go down with the whole family. Now we see Dave is the hero, and he's the hero on the news for catching Freddie. And he brings up on the news he's writing his book. So the agency that rejected him, the big boss isn't happy about this, that they rejected him now. Of course not, because she wants this big name on their agency. So she wants to reach out to him and make a deal. But this is where the cops intervene and they want to get involved with her to catch Dave. So that sets up that storyline where that part of the investigation going on is going to try to undercover, catch Dave about his book and more about what he's really doing. But what it also set up here is Freddie is in jail. We see him and he won't talk to the cops, but he wants to talk to Dave who caught him. So Michelle will go with Dave when he goes to talk to Freddie. So she's seeing this very important conversation, which is also going to help in catching Dave for sure. And I love the writing here with Freddie, where he says to Dave, who was she? The one that gave you the hole. So he's talking about his mother and this hole he can see right through him that he has in him. He goes, your mother, why didn't she love you? And in that line, it cuts between Dave and Michelle, a close-up of Michelle. So this is also hitting a chord with Michelle about having a mother who doesn't love them. So we're waiting to see if there is a big reveal of Michelle's connection to fires, and has she ever committed something like arson? I've seen theories of that. And then Freddie says she recognized S-word when she smelled it. Your hate is your food. So really getting and nabbing at the thoughts that Dave's probably had towards himself. And obviously that he's driven by the hate. And Dave asks Freddie then, why did you have to burn those people alive over it? And he says, I don't know. And then Freddie asks, what's your excuse? Because he knows Dave also does this by Dave's reaction to Freddie almost committing arson the last episode. And I love Dave says, I don't commit arson. I don't kill people. And Freddie maniacally laughs and calls him a whitewashed tomb, the title of the episode, obviously describing it as beautiful on the outside, but the inside's filled with bones of the dead. This sums up Dave perfectly, and a big theme of the show, and that these people are doing these horrible things and killing people in arson. There are excuses, they've been wronged in life, but it's obviously the show is not giving them a lot of empathy, which I agree with. Like, it's showing you like this how selfish this actually is, and they just justify these awful actions by something wrong done to them in their childhood. Now, when Dave goes to see Dawn, who's undercover with the book publisher, Dave says that Donald thinks he is smarter than everyone else, and he was handed a rigged game, and he lights fires to punish these people for rejecting him. So you're getting all in that mindset of really Dave. And the publisher just reacts way too hard and too emotional here, so it makes him uneasy. And like Ezra was saying in the episode, it triggered his spidey sense. So that plan basically flops a lot. They get a little more into Dave's mindset, but not successful. And Michelle then goes to Dave's wife, Ashley, at the gym. Michelle will reveal to Ashley she suspects him of a crime and asks the wife, does she think he'd be capable of anything? And she says, absolutely. And the wife reveals she thought he was cheating because of the book. And not only that, because he was not around a lot. And that makes sense now. They're connecting that would be the time he's actually going to light fires. I like the writing here where the wife brings up she'd catch Dave in reflection. It just wasn't Dave, but this thing. It wanted to take a hammer to my skull. That's her seeing Dave, this monster, the arsonist. Then she brings up the rough sex, and he had fantasies. She said one of the fantasies was he wanted to rape her in a burning building and film it. And then she says, though, it never happened with her, but we learned it happened with the ex-wife, Reba, and we know this because Ezra filmed these kind of movies. It would have been nice if Ezra probably gave the information to Michelle. He obviously did not want her finding those kind of videos connected to him. Now, where Michelle's plan will backfire is when she goes to actually see Reba, because Reba is loyal to Dave. Because she's asking questions as a cop to Reba about Dave, Reba actually calls Dave to tell him this at the celebration party. And now he knows the whole crew is onto him. I love they showed his point of view and seeing everybody he trusted and that he's in trouble now. Now it even gets tense with him and Steve. I love the line Dave says to Steve, though, where he's like, you roll over if she tells you to, play fetch. You knew it was on at that moment. But you see how cringe Steve is, where he's like, you are not me. I'm everything you wish you were. So he's such an entitled a-hole, Steve. We've seen that earlier in how he treats Michelle, and they try to show you moments like, oh, maybe this guy's not so bad. But no, he's another not great person in this show. And he sucker punches Dave. Now Dave flips on Harvey outside because he didn't do anything. He's like, I thought we were pals, which is so crazy for Dave to even say to Harvey after Harvey's felt so betrayed by Dave and being an arsonist. And that's when Harvey tells Michelle, like, okay, he definitely knows that we're on to him. And then you see Dave is flying down the road screaming, loses the tracker on his car. It's important. So they're going to lose track of him for a bit. I love Nine Inch Nails is playing here. And it's scary that when he goes to the offices, he grabs a picture of Harvey's house. So what is the deal with that? Is he planning to arson Harvey's house, or if that's his lake house, whatever it is? Scary. And what triggers Dave even more into just going to be absolute psychotic behavior the next episode is seeing Ezra talking with Dawn, his ex-partner, who knew he was an arsonist, and talking with Dawn, who he thought was working as a book publisher. So his world is completely exploded, which made this really exciting at the end. And it's exciting because they didn't wait for this for a while. We've still got 2 more episodes to go. And the episode really ends on a dour note where Freddy commits suicide, which I did think was obviously going to come for him. And he's thinking of all these happy memories as he goes out. But, it's not even there to make you feel empathy for the guy. I really don't, because I think this show's just showing you these 2 guys are like really selfish in their ways and always go back to how they were wronged and mistreated, but just horribly addressing it by ruining other people's lives and killing people. So I think this is one of those moments that it really wraps up nicely the character of Freddy's story. I think it really paid off, and it led into giving a more interesting discovery into Dave's story and how Dave's story is going to wrap up, and Michelle. So I like how they're all connected and serving each other's stories as well. So I thought I was very satisfied, and the actor of Freddy, amazing. I'm going to miss him. He was so good. So I can't wait to see him in more stuff. I know he's in Dexter Resurrection, so I hope he blows up because he's super talented. So overall, this was the best episode of the show for me by far. I think this is what we've all been waiting for to really cook up, and it's now going up and hitting that ceiling. I was talking about this show where it can get really good, and I'm going to give this one a 9. Let me know what you thought of it down below. Let me know your theories for these final 2 episodes, if you're enjoying it or not. Please check out my interview with Jurnee Smollett, as well as a really fun time talking about the show. I'll link that in the comments. Follow me on Instagram at Steve Varley Show. Again, it would really help, and subscribe here as well. And I'll see you next time.